Guys, give me straight here back to the video. Today's video is what if Cobra Kai was on teams like Total Drama. So basically, there are teams like Total Drama. So this video was by Fall Solo. Thank you for your suggestion. Fall Solo 65. Thank you for your suggestion. Okay, so I went in chat box and I asked what teams these guys should go in. I put the characters mostly from the All Valley in season 4 and the series, kind of the most notable fighters, in my opinion. So it's Cobra Kai Strikers, Eagle Fangs, and the Dragon Warriors. So Cobra Kai Strikers, we have Robbie, Hawk, Kreese, Terry Silver, Kenny, Nate, Aisha, and Mitch. Then on Eagle Fangs, we have Tori, Johnny, Miguel, Daniel, Sean, Piper, Chosen, and Kyler. And then on the Dragon Warriors, we have Bert, Chris, Mike Barnes, Sam, Devin Lee, Dimitri, Kim Down, and Stingray. Okay, so episode 1, Chris will then introduce the campers and how they will survive the next few weeks. This is going to be around fighting. I'm basically, this season that Chris will be doing will be like a fighting type season. Like it'll be more, it's like training. Almost, it's kind of like a training exercise for them as well. So these are the previous challenges. I thought it'd be pretty cool to kind of do this and apply it to Cobra Kai. So, Oceans 8 or 9. So, basically, this is the challenge. They have to open the safe, rob a bank, and build a race cart, getaway cart. Strength and speed test. So, who gets captured? I'm going to say Mitch, Kyler, and Stingray. So, they have to open the safe, and the first part is opening the safe. I feel like Sean would be pretty good at this. He would just feel like he would break in it. I think Kim Dong would be pretty good at this because she's a pretty good fighter. And I think these guys are forced to kind of leave Mitch. I think Kreese and Silver could get in. Second part is the bank, and Silver and Kreese decide that even though they don't like each other, they're gonna work together. They're gonna sabotage Eagle Fang and Dragon Warriors. Fangs and Dragon Warriors. So I think Kreese could manipulate Hawk. I think Hawk's the character he wants to keep around. Kenny will go off to try and sabotage them, so they build their carts. It's very, very close. They carry in their carts to the end, they're racing. I think the Eagle Fangs are definitely winning with Daniel and Johnny. So between the Dragon Warriors and the Cobra Kai Strikers, I mean, Kreese and Silver doesn't accept defeat. I think the winners between these guys, Kyle could definitely help this win just because, well, do they win? Sam's a pretty capable fighter. We all know Bert's equally the most powerful fighter in the verse. Jokes aside, the Cobra Kai Strikers are winning the challenge, so they have to go to elimination. So Sam, she's friends with Devin, Dimitri, and Stingray. So they like each other. So who's voting for who here? I think they're going to keep Mike around because Mike's going to be very useful, and Stingray, actually. So let's just think about this for a second. So they have 3. So Mike's pretty strong, to be fair. Silver and Kreese. I do think the Dragon Warriors will lose. So I don't think Devin and Sam go. Kim Da-eung, I think they will get rid of Kim Da-eung just because she's the biggest threat. Nobody really likes her, especially what she did to Tori. And so Mike votes for Kim. Mike has no reason to vote her off, but they gotta pick someone. So I think Stingray votes and Kim are together. So I feel like Kim could convince Stingray. She wants to keep Mike around. I think she's going to vote for Bert. So these two vote for Bert. Actually, no, Stingray's best friends at Bert. So he gets Bert to vote for Kim. That's 2. Chris votes for Stingray. Mike votes for Kim. That's 3 Kim. 1 Mike. Sam and Devin, Dimitri vote for Kim Dong. So Kim would in my opinion, would be the first person booted from the season. Episode 2. This is my first Cobra Kai video, and I am going to do my next one will be my theories on the mysterious 2 fighters, and after that it will be the theories on Cobra Kai. So this is where they have to jump off the... So let's get... So jumping off the cliff, 1,000 foot cliff, right? 1,000 foot cliff. That's by sharks. There's sharks, invest a lake, and construct a hot tub. Material found in crates. So if you guys enjoy how I'm doing the challenges, they're just randomized. There could be any challenges, but this is the only way I could think of. So who jumps? Robbie would jump. Hawk would definitely jump. Chris and Silver. Kenny would jump. Nate, Aisha, and Mitch. I don't think Mitch would jump. Nate wouldn't jump. And Aisha would jump, so that's 6 of them. Tori jumps. Johnny, Miguel, Daniel, Sean, Piper, Chosen. I think all the Fangs, Eagle Fangs jump. And then the Dragon Warriors, Bert, Chris wouldn't jump. Mike jumps, Sam jumps. Devin, Stingray would jump. Sam jumps. Devin would jump, and Dimitri, I don't think he would jump, so that's 4. They have 7, so 6. So the Eagle Fangs won the first part of the challenge. So I feel like the Cobras come, and because these two have the advantage, they're able to make the hot tub, so I think the Dragon Warriors would lose again. Mike's not going to vote for Stingray and Sam because Devin, so between Bert and Stingray, they think who would... Stingray's very close to Bert, so he can get Bert on his side. Dimitri, Chris, I think they're going to aim for Bert. Maybe Bert. Who's a challenge threat? It depends who they see as a challenge threat, who's a pretty threatening player. I think they see Dimitri as a big threat, because Dimitri's really good at fighting. He's pretty good, so he's the only one that didn't jump. He's the best of the 4 of the 3, I think. Mike votes for Chris. Stingray and Bert vote for Chris. It's 2 Chris. Chris votes for Bert. Sam, Bert and Chris. She votes for Bert. She's closer to Chris. Devin calls for Chris. And then Dimitri's the swing vote between Bert and Chris. I think he votes for Bert, so Bert is out, which is a shame. Bert's the second boot of the season. So at least Bert wasn't the first person eliminated, which I'm pretty happy with that. So now we move on to episode 3. I should have probably said this at the beginning, but this is just a theory, and it's just for fun as well. This is a theory. So this is just for fun. It's not to be taken seriously. So, lies, cries, and one big prize. So the duo deadly dying dangerous death. So this is the picture. So this is where they have to do. So really, it's just a race to the end. So the first part would be sliding down the mountain, and I think Piper's a really good athlete, so she could do that. And I feel like Sam and Devin could do that, and Mike. Stingray's still sad that Bert's gone, but he could do it. The Cobras will be alright here. The second part is carrying your partner through the mud. So who do they pair with? So we're going to put them in pairs. I think Sam and Stingray. Sam and Dimitri. Stingray and Chris, and that leaves Devin and Mike. Tori and Daniel. Johnny and Miguel. Sean and Piper. Chosen and Kyler. I think maybe Chosen shows Kyler. Maybe teaches Kyler a thing or two to redeem himself. Actions. Then Chris and Robbie. Silver and Kenny. Aisha and Hawk, and that would leave Nate and Mitch. So basically, who gets to the end? Everyone can get to the end. I feel like everyone on the Fangs could. And I think everyone on the Dragons could. So the final part would be a race to the end, and I think the Eagle Fangs, like the Dragons have a much smaller team, so they get to the end faster, and the Fangs. So for the first time, I think the Cobra Kai Strikers are going to elimination. Now, who would Kreese want to keep around? He doesn't have the numbers to get rid of Silver yet, because they're working together because they realize they're not exactly the most popular guys. So they want to keep Robbie and Hawk around. But these two think they can get rid of them early on, so it's like Mitch and Nate. I mean, in fact, Mitch would be easy. So these two vote for Nate. Robbie and Hawk would vote for Kreese. Aisha, I feel like he could convince. Aisha would vote for Nate. Kenny, he'd vote for Hawk. So I think 2 on Nate, 2 on Robbie, Kreese. Mitch, and 2 on Nate, 2 on Kreese. Mitch would vote for Nate. I think they could easily convince him. So I think Nate would probably be the third boo of the season. So Nate's out. Episode 4. So this will be a long video. So I hope you guys enjoy. So walk like an Egyptian. So walk or climb over the pyramid. Transfer the previous item from the Nile and move canoe. So I'm going to make this a double elimination. So this is a 2-part challenge. So this is getting over through the pyramid. So I feel like Kreese and Silver get over the pyramid. Robbie and Hawk. I think the other Kenny, Mitch, and Aisha would probably go in the pyramid. Aisha would think it's too dangerous and obviously wouldn't want to do it. She would think it's safer. So I feel like the Fangs would stay together. Sean would probably go over the pyramid. The Dragon Warriors, I think Mike could go over the pyramid, but I think Mike would want to be pretty good leader and sensei for his team, so he'd want to stick together. So I think the Dragon Warriors could get there first. So the first part doesn't really matter, it's more kind of who gets there first. So I think the Cobras could get there first. So the Cobras get stick. The Fangs get the camel, the goat, and Dragon Warriors get the camel. So they can get across. The Cobras have the easiest task of just carrying a stick, and which would take the Fangs and Dragon Warriors some time to get across. So then they're able to make a boat together. Chosen would be able to do that, no problem. And Piper would be very athletic, so she could help with the goat on that. And I think here, I feel like the Eagle Fangs lose. I think the Fangs lose, and the Cobras lose. So they lose, which means the Dragon Warriors survive another elimination. So who did the Eagle Fangs vote for? So Johnny and Daniel are together. So Tori, Miguel, so obviously there's Piper. So they've chosen. First for the Cobras. Kreese and Silver, who's more threatening. I think they would see Aisha maybe as a potential. Mitch would be a person that they could easily have on their side, so I think they want to keep Mitch around and Kenny. Hawk and Robbie would be too good to dump at this point, so I feel like they would see Aisha as a character who'd be quite threatening because her friendship with Sam, Tori, and Chris wants Tori to himself. So I think here, would he rather get rid of Aisha or Mitch? And I think these two get Mitch. Vote for Aisha. These two for Kreese. For Silver. Aisha. They convince Aisha because Aisha's not really done that bad to them. So I think Robin Hawk realised Aisha's a pretty threatening player. She was the second student of Cobra Kai. might as well Sarah Mitch. So I think Hawk votes for Mitch, Kenny votes for Mitch, Robbie votes for Mitch, Chris and Silver vote for Mitch, and Aisha votes just for Mitch. So I think Mitch would be out. And Joseph and Daniel vote for Johnny. Tori votes and Johnny votes for me and Deco with Kyler. Mulga votes for Sean. These two vote for Chosen. Miguel and Kyler. So it's right between Kyler, Sean, and Piper. And I think they would realize Piper's too good of a player to ditch it, to let go at this point. So I think they see Sean's a pretty powerful player. But also Kyler. They would see Kyler. But Kyler redeemed himself for season 6. So I think him and Miguel are pretty cool at this point. So it's more Johnny, Daniel, and Chosen who's kind of leading them, Miguel and Tori. Tori's kind of a bit more still cares about Chris though. So they won't want to get rid of Tori because she's really good. This is actually a pretty tough vote. So I think these three vote for Sean. Sean votes for Kyler. Miguel votes for Sean. Tori votes for Sean. Tori keeps Sean because those two are together. Piper, so these three are together. And Kyler. So I think these 4 vote Sean, and these 4 they would vote for Miguel. So now we have a tie situation. So how a tiebreaker will work in this is where they will just have a fight. It'll be like a fight. It's a point-to-point system. So whoever gets the point wins. And I think definitely Miguel's winning just because of the fact Sean is untrained. Like, I think if Sean did have a lot more training under his belt, like Kenny does, and even if you could say even Kyler, if you had training like Kyler in wrestling and in Cobra Kai, I do think Sean would be more of a force to be reckoned with. But I think at this point where he's at right now, I think Miguel's definitely beating Sean here, which means that Sean would be eliminated. So we have episode 5. I'm not sure where the episodes were at. I said 5 because it may have lost track, but it's just for fun. So this is IC. So this is IC London. So find and capture Jack the Ripper. So basically here, they have to find and capture 2 Jack the Rippers. So who would win? I feel like that we would have Chosen on it. I feel like Silver and Kreese could capture with Hawk and Robbie and Kenny and Aisha. I feel like the Cobras could definitely catch Jack the Ripper. As Kreese would be really smart about it, and himself will be able to capture him pretty well. Between the Eel Fangs, and Dragon Warriors, I'm going to say the winner more than likely are the Dragon Warriors. I think just because of the fact that Daniel, Chosen, and Johnny would all have different ideas, whereas Mike Barnes would just has one track mind. Mike's like a fighting machine. He's attack, attack, attack. Whereas Johnny would want to find an attack approach. Daniel would want to go more defensively, and Chosen would kind of want to do a balance where wait for him and then attack. So I think that's kind of what would happen, and the Eagle Fangs would lose this challenge, and that's that. So Tori convinces Kyler and Piper we need to convince one of the other 4 to get someone out because Daniel and Johnny, they're very close. Miguel and Johnny are very close, might be quite threatening when we merge. So Johnny and Miguel, they decide we should get rid of Chosen. So these 2 vote for Chosen. Daniel and Chosen are quite close. So these 3 think about who they want to get rid of. So these 2 would vote for Johnny. But who do these 3 vote for? Piper, Kyler, and Tori. And I think they realize Chosen's too good to keep at this point. As at this point in the challenge, Chosen's really good. Between Johnny and Daniel and Miguel, I think they would decide to get rid of Miguel, as Johnny would probably more be likely working with them if he's on his own. He's friends with Daniel and Chosen, sure, but I think Miguel was a champion. He's been a finalist. Miguel's very good at fighting. He can be quite threatening, and they might not get another chance to do so. These two vote for Miguel, these two vote for Chosen, and these two vote for Johnny. And Miguel is out, which is a shame. So a major character has been eliminated, Miguel. So Miguel's the first pretty big character eliminated. So Miguel's out. And we still have Kairos, that's interesting. Episode 6, I believe. So we have. So we're back. And the next challenge is Lord of the Ring Toss. Redonkulous race challenge. So find a ring in the snow and toss it accurately on the tusk in narwhal. Build an igloo, snow and ice. Okay. So basically, Chris would get half the team to go and find rings, the other half try and make igloo. So it's going to be Chris, Robbie, and Aisha, and then Silverhawk and Kenny, Daniel, Tori, and Kyler, which we've chosen Johnny and Piper. So this would be a good chance for Piper to try and convince Johnny into an alliance. And Daniel could try and convince Tori to steer away from Silver when they merge. So Mike, Chris, and Sam, and that leaves Dimitri, Stingray, and Devon. So the first part of the challenge was basically throwing rings at the narwhals. So I think Chris could do it, and Robbie and Aisha. I think everyone could do it, but who would do the best? I think the Cobras would win the first part. Then building the igloo, I feel like between these three teams, for Silver, Hawk, Kenny, Chosen, Johnny, Piper, and Stingray, Dimitri, and Devon, I definitely think the Dragon Warriors would win. So I feel like the Eagle Fangs and the Dragon Warriors are going to elimination, as this would be also, I'm going to make this a single, so I think out of the three, I feel like that the losers would probably be the Dragon Warriors. I think the Dragon Warriors will lose. Tori obviously has a 3-person alliance, so then Sam wants to keep Mike around because they'll keep Mike around because Mike's one of the only characters who's really good at the challenges, the senseis, the masters. So Stingray, he's pretty good. So Devon gets Dimitri. So they vote for Chris here. Devon votes for Mike, I think. Sam, Mike vote for Chris. Actually, so Stingray and Mike, they are going to vote for Dimitri. They vote for Mike, Chris. Because Mike's kind of wants to keep certain characters around with the challenge stakes, and they vote TC for Chris. And I think Dimitri and Devon vote for Mike. Sam votes for Chris, and Chris votes for Devon. So I think Chris wouldn't be eliminated. The next episode is... Okay. Now we have Chinese takeout. So the challenges is Great Wall, race, China buffet, and choose somebody to stay in first class with you. Okay, so the first part is the race. Basically, they'll be picking a transport to race together. So they would pick to travel. So I'm going to say they're all traveling like bikes or something. So who qualifies for the first round? So Piper would make it. Hawk makes it. Crease. Robbie. Silver. I'm going to say Aisha and Kenny don't make it. I'm going to say Piper should make it. Daniel, Johnny, Chosen. I'm going to say Tori makes it. I'm going to say Kyler doesn't make it. Then I'm going to say Kyler doesn't make it and everyone else qualifies for his team. Then Stinger makes it. Mike, Sam, Dimitri, Devin doesn't make it. So as for the eating challenge, I think Sam would do alright. Hawk, you've got a hoodwink for their team. So I think Stingray would be good. Piper's an athlete, so I think she could win it. So I think the Eagle Fangs could win it. So between the Cobra Kai strikers and the Dragon Warriors, I feel like the Cobra Kai strikers would lose. I feel like Mike would have a pretty good strategy to help Sam Stingray. And they would have a smaller team, so they would be able to do it much faster than the strikers. I feel like Silver. I don't know what Silver. Well, it depends. I do think I'm going to say the Cobra Kai strikers lose. So they want to keep Robbie and Hawk around. So Robbie and Hawk are in an alliance. These two are working together. They have Kenny. So these two vote for Aisha together and vote for Terry Silver. So I think Terry Silver would be out here. They would see Silver as a bigger threat than Kreese. So Silver's out. So here, Hawaiian Honey Run. So drive into the ocean, collect rings, walk across the hot coal while carrying a partner dressed in a Hawaii skirt. So basically here, I feel like they just have to race on. Instead of that, I'm going to say that they have to race barefoot on lava. And I think the Cobra Kai Strikers could win. Piper pretty good. I think Daniel would say they don't have to do the one. I feel like Kyle will just do it, and then Kyle will end up saying, "No, I'm out." Then the Dragon Warriors could get to the end. I think they would think of a strategy like piggyback rides, maybe, or something. I think Mike could think of a strategy to get across. Kreese could think of something to get everyone across. Kreese says sometimes you have to let some of us take the pain. So I feel like he would do that situation. So I think the Eagle Fangs would lose. And Joseph and Daniel vote for Kyler. Johnny would vote for Kyler, and these three vote. Tori votes for Kyler, and Piper probably votes for Kyler, so I think Kyler probably goes here. Fair play to Kyler. Kyler came 16th in this timeline. The next episode is Superhero ID. Is create a superhero costume, name it, and race the 3 obstacle course. I'm going to say if they create a mascot, so I'm going to say the dragon, the eagle, and the cobra. They create snakes, so it's just whoever's the best time and speed, really. So I feel like Piper could be pretty good for winning for her team, and I feel like Hawk would be pretty good at this. So I want to say that the Dragon Warriors will lose, and Sam has Dimitri and Devin. So Mike, they vote for Mike Stingray. I think they vote for Mike Barnes, and the other two vote for maybe Dimitri or Devin. Regardless, I think Mike Barnes, one of my favorite characters, Guy's bad boy, is eliminated. Next episode. It's the same challenge. You want to keep spinning a wheel so you get a different challenge. So, Raff Booby. So, choose someone's some rewards. So, Easter Island Egg Hunt. This would be like the Coyote Creek situation where they have to fight to get the egg. So, I think the Dragon Warriors could do it because there's less of them. So, the Dragon Warriors could do it because they get them much faster, less people. So, between the Cobras and the Eagle Fangs, I think the Egg Hunt, I feel like that the Cobras could probably get there fast. Actually, no, Piper's a very good athlete, so I think the Cobras will lose, and Robbie, Hawk, and Kenny sit together to vote for Kreese. Kreese, Clarkson, and Aisha. But the other three are voting for Kreese, so I think Kreese is out. So, The next person will be Broadway Baby. So these are trying to be Bobbing for Apples race to the finish line. I'm just going to say this is a race to the finish line. Bobbing for Apples, everyone does it right here. I think, again, Chosen, Daniel, and Johnny will have all different ideas. Stingray will try to be the lead. I think Stingray will just follow these guys, and then the Cobras. Robbie and Hawk probably want to be leader or fight for leadership, but I feel like they could get the end. So I think the Eagle Fangs will lose, and Chosen and Daniel together. Tori and Piper come. These two are for Piper, and these two come into Johnny to get rid of Chosen or Daniel because they're going to choose each other in the end. She accepts. So Johnny, he would choose to get rid of Daniel. So he's drew for Daniel, so Daniel's out. Keep in mind, I'm trying to think in universe the decisions characters make, but also in my opinion how I think the missions would go as well. So basic training. Only can overhead dancing to range reward essay after the course hanging upside down with a tree branch. So on the canoe, server attacks out first Rui. So Aisha's gonna not make it. I'm gonna say Dimitri's not gonna make it. Then the second part would be the dance off. Not sure how they would do here. I think everyone qualifies for that. 300 word essay. Tori, Kenny and Tori, I'm gonna say aren't making this one. And just to make it even, that's 2 each, of course. So I think everyone qualifies for that. So it's really who has the most endurance. So I think Hawk and Robbie would fall. I think Stingray, has a pretty high endurance, I think, as well as Sam. And I think Chosen and Johnny could last longest. I think the Cobras lose. And they get rid of Aisha. So we have 2000 at Space Owen. Okay. Show of the night on Space Owen on the Volman comment. Handle pain best or like that. So I feel like here, I think Chosen and Johnny could get to the end with Piper and Tori. So it's between the Dragon Warriors and the Cobras, and I think the Dragon Warriors will lose. I feel like the Dragon Warriors will lose. So the Cobras win. So Hawk survives another day. Dev and Dimitri, Vodolf, Stingray. So we have. We're at the merge. I added a character in case you guys aren't aware. This guy is Doug, and I'll explain who Doug is in a second. So that's that. So Dragon Warriors, Cobra, Strikers, and Eagle Fangs are no more, and everyone gets individual immunity. So this guy is Doug. He was a character really in Hawk's gang in this season, so also a pretty high ranking student as well, so this is to decide whether or not anyone returns for the merge, so no. Returning to the merge. Merge cast. Doug is the new contestant added, but nobody else will be returning. So Sam, Devin, Dimitri, Chosen, Johnny, Piper, Tori, Robbie, Hawk, and Kenny. So I feel like Piper, Tori, Sam, and Devin make a girls' alliance, and I think Johnny and Robbie are together, and they get Hawk. So let's see the next challenge. The Truth Island of Dr. McLean. So the next challenge is swim to shore, find treasure chest as a result. So the person who actually wins, I'm going to say that two people win immunity, and Johnny, Robbie, and Hawk, and Kenny are together. I think they could get Doug, because, Doug seems to be friends with Hawk. Tori, Piper together. Sam, the Girls Alliance. Dimitri's with them. Chosen, so I feel like they would race to the end, swim to the shore. So I'm going to say this is actually a I'm going to say this is a triples challenge. So Piper, Robbie, and Chosen, Tori, Sam, and Hawk, Devin, Johnny, and Dimitri. Now leave Doug and Kenny. So the race did this up, and who would win? So I think Doug and Kenny would win immunity because they only have 2 people, so they would travel faster. Sam and Tori would do alright. Nobody else would do fine here. So they would actually be able to pick who gets immunity because they're a person down. So I'm going to say Kenny wants to pick Robbie. So I think Robbie gets immunity. And the Girls Alliance stick together. So Hawk's with Dimitri. So Hawk, Dimitri, and Doug says we need to get rid of Piper because she's really good at challenges. So these 3 vote for Piper. The Girls Alliance, who would they vote for? They vote for Chosen. Johnny Chosen vote for each other. I think Kenny, Robbie. So Johnny gets Kenny and Robbie to vote for Doug. So that's 3 Doug. 4 Chosen. 3 Piper. So Chosen will be the first person eliminated. So I hope you guys are really enjoying this video because I think it is an interesting idea. And doing the challenges are just random because it's very hard. I'm not sure what challenges could be created. So, a deep is your love. Sail to the next challenge site and collect the ball underground cavern. Okay. So I'm gonna say this is a pairs challenge. So this is gonna be a double elimination. So I'm gonna say the binary rows, Hawk and Dimitri, Johnny and Robbie and Kenny, Sam and Tori, Piper, and Doug, and that would leave Johnny and Devin. Okay, so who's towing who down? So Johnny would lower down Devin on the rope. Sam, I think Tori would lower down Sam. Robbie would lower down Kenny. Hawk would lower down Dimitri, and Doug would lower down Piper. So the fight really races to the end. So I think they're going to try and not fight each other if they don't need to. I think out of the 2 teams, I think Piper and Doug win immunity. I think those 2 win immunity because Piper's really good at challenges. So I think they win, so they can bring them back. Master, that's Sensei, so Johnny's out. I'm sorry, this is actually a double elimination, so I'll make this a double. So they need to convince somebody else. So they convince Johnny. So Robbie Kenny works with the Hawks group. So these 5 target Hawk. And who would these 5 target? I think they're going to target Tori because she'd be the biggest threat. So I think that's not immune. So Tori and Hawk would both be eliminated because this is a double elimination. So next episode, 2 of my favourites have just got eliminated, Hawk and Tori. I have a lot of favourites in Cobra Kai, but anyway. So new whinging. Sky 8. Okay, so this is the challenges. Travel to the Great Wall, Rickshaw. I'm going to say this is actually a fighting challenge where it's a race, but they're fighting each other as they fight. So it's like they're on a podium and they fight each other. The last person standing wins. So the Girls Alliance is still intact. They have Johnny, Robbie, and Kenny are very close. So Doug, how well they all good at fighting. This is all kind of how I think they would actually do. So I think there's no way Noah's beating Johnny. I think Johnny's winning immunity. Doug would be out. Dimitri, Kenny, Devin, Robbie, and Sam. Piper, these 4 are probably the closest, but I think they're losing Kenny as well. But Doug's pretty tough, but I think Johnny wins immunity. So I think Johnny wins immunity, which annoys everybody else because Johnny would have been the biggest threat. So I think they win immunity. So Doug and Dimitri are just kind of on their own now because Hawk's not there. So I feel like The girls, they work with Johnny at this, so these trade together. I feel like they can get Dimitri and Doug, and I think they're going to target Kenny. So I think because Kenny and they're quite close, so I think Robbie, Kenny, and Johnny are very close. So these 5 target Kenny, and these 3 target Doug. So I think Kenny, unless Doug's actually a big threat though, because Doug actually is a pretty decent fighter. So the girls target Doug. Robbie and Kenny target Doug. Johnny would target Doug, so I think Doug would be out. So anyway, next challenge is so bunch of disgusting. This is eating disgusting meals. Okay, this is more of an eating challenge, so it's very hard to say. It's like kind of how well they. It's more of endurance, really, how well each of the fighters were able to do. So I think Piper would be pretty good at this. Johnny. So I think Dimitri's out. And Kenny, Sam, Devon, and Robbie. So I think between Piper and Johnny, I think Piper would win immunity. So the girls' alliance are intact. And you have Johnny's vote. But Robbie and Kenny and Dimitri. So I think they get Dimitri. And they target one of these 3. I think they're going to target Robbie because he's very close to Johnny. So I think Robbie's a pretty well threatening player. So these 4 vote for Robbie. These 3 voted for Johnny. Wouldn't vote for Devon, so he wanted to vote for Sam. For Dimitri, I think Robbie's out. Final 6. So basically, the wheel kind of froze. So ice baby. The wheel basically froze on the last one. So that was basically mountain climbing and capture the flag is the challenge. People could win immunity. So the first part is rock climbing. Dimitri's not going to do it. Kenny be alright. I think Johnny would win the first part of the challenge. Second part is capturing the flag. So it's between these 5. Piper's really good. She's very athletic. Devon, Sam, Dimitri, Kenny. So I feel like Piper would win immunity, and then that's that. So who would these 3 target? They target Kenny. And they convinced Dimitri to vote for Kenny, so I think Kenny's out. Final 5. So, final 5 challenge is Wakanda Gone Wild. Track a specific animal chosen randomly without harming it. So I'm going to say the animal they capture is what they represent to the teams. So Piper would have eagle, Devon, eagle, Sam, Cobra, eagle. I'm going to say it's eagles and snakes, so they have to catch a snake. Like a cobra. A snake. So basically, the first person to bring it back wins. So Dimitri's not going to do that. I don't think Dimitri would want to do it. Sam would be alright. Devon would be pretty good here. I feel like Sam would win. Sam, Johnny, or Piper. I think Piper would, or Johnny. So I feel like Johnny could win immunity because Chris was pretty good in season 6, as he caught the snake. So I think Johnny could win immunity. So the girls think about, let's get rid of Piper. So these 2 vote for Piper. Johnny convinces Devon to vote for Piper and Sam. Dimitri, these 2 vote for Devon. So Piper's out. Piper came 5th in this timeline, so that's pretty good. So we have 3 more challenges, and then that will be the end of this video. Okay, last tango in Bonnie's errors. Hunting performed the tango. So here I'm going to say that Sam and Dimitri, Johnny, Devon. So basically, the 2 who end up getting across first would win. So I think the first part of the challenge, Johnny and Devon win. And emu hunting. So basically, I'm going to say here, the last person's just automatically eliminated. And I think out of the 2 who catch it first, I think Sam would catch it first. So I think Dimitri would probably be out here. Final 3. Tell me in the comments in future what the challenges could be. It could be like an all-night tournament, but I thought it'd be a bit more interesting to kind of do these challenges, see how the characters would do in universe. If you disagree with my picks, absolutely fine. Let me know in the comments what you guys would have picked. Episode, so 100 hurl race. Don't touch the floor. Race and the talent show. It's a race to the end. I think Johnny could get there faster. Sam and Devon team up because they think Johnny would not be a good character to face in the finale. So Johnny with the first part, then the second part will be the hurdles race. And I think Devon could win. Now the talent show, I don't know what the talent show could probably be. Johnny would maybe something really cool. Not sure Johnny will win. Devon, maybe a martial arts style. It's the same. I think whoever performs the best feats, kicking wins. So I'm just going to say Johnny probably wins it. And then between Sam and Devon, Johnny gets sort of I think Johnny's taking Devon to the finale. So Sam would be out here. As obviously, he likes Sam. Like he did train her with a bit, but I think Johnny's a lot closer to Devon. So I think Johnny will obviously take Devon to the finale, in my opinion. So the final challenge, 2, is Devon and Johnny. I didn't think those would be the final 2. Hide and be sneaky. Okay, hide and seek. Avoid being captured. My chef. So Chris says to the other campers who obviously were eliminated, gets to help find the 2 people who are caught hiding. Now, obviously, depending on who has the most people, so who would hunt for who. Stingray would go for Devon. Aisha would go for Devon. Daniel would go for Johnny. Kreese goes for Devon. Mike would go for stuff. I think you go for Devon. Kyler, Johnny. Silver Johnny. He hunts for Johnny. Chris, Devon, Miguel. Tough to say would he hunt Miguel or Johnny. I think he hunt Devon. Sean probably doesn't really have a strong opinion either. I'm going to say Johnny. Mitch, Devon, Nate, Johnny, Bert, Devon, and Kim Dae-young, Johnny. So Sam, Johnny, Dimitri, Johnny, Piper, Johnny, Kenny, Johnny, Robbie, Devon, Doug, Devon, Hawk, Devon, Tori, Devon or Johnny. I'm going to say she probably goes for probably Johnny because she seems to be friends with Devon, and then Chosen I think goes for Johnny. So it really depends who gets caught first. I think the winner would be Devon. It's close, but I think I could see a situation where Johnny maybe Johnny's the one who kind of gets caught first. I just think that Johnny might let Devon. I'm not saying he'll let Devon win, but I think it's a scenario where it's really where they hide the best. And again, the shocking reveal in season 4 where she left the dojo and joined Cobra Kai. That's probably one of the reasons why I'm going to give it to Devon. So, but if you guys prefer, I like Devon, but I also like Johnny's one of my favorites. So if you want, you could take Johnny, but I think I'm going to let Devon win this one. So thank you guys for watching this elimination order. So first Devon, second Johnny, third Sam, fourth Dimitri, fifth Piper, sixth Kenny, seventh Robbie, eighth Doug, 9/10 would be Tori and Hawk, 11th Chosen, 12th Stingray, 13th Aisha, 14th Daniel, 15th Kreese, 16th Mike, 17th Kyler, 18th Silver, 19th Chris, 20 Miguel, 21 Sean, 22nd Mitch, 23rd Nate, 24th Bert, and 25th Kim Down. 25th Kim. So, guys watching, and yeah, I'm going to do a couple of theories and more theories on the channel. Thank you guys, and peace for all.